Well, good morning and welcome back to northern Spain. Well, I guess actually we're, oh, my eye watering. It's a good start to the vlog, Nigel. Start crying. I'd love to give you a detailed breakdown of exactly where we are as I start this vlog. But I've woken up this morning and I can't really remember. I'll go ahead and throw a little map up and show you where I am. But what I do know is the last couple of days we have had some nice misty conditions. Now, 2 days ago, we had parked up on a little error and we both had quite a bit of work to do. And I went out, first of all, to go for a bit of a run. And where we were, you could run across a little peninsula, a little bridge, to an island. And the conditions were incredible. Absolutely incredible. But of course, I only had my iPhone with me. And so yesterday morning, before we left that area, we both wandered across. Nicola wanted to go and see the area. I wanted to shoot. It had promised misty conditions again. Sadly, it was more murky, so no photography to be had. But we went for a really lovely walk, and it is an area that I would really love to return to. So we've come here, and again this morning we were promised some lovely misty conditions, and it's ish. Now, as the temperature rises, we are literally around sunrise right now. As that temperature rises, we might get a little bit more mist coming in, but it's not looking too likely. Where we're parked up, literally a 2-minute walk down to the coastal area, and I thought, even if that mist doesn't materialise, we might get some nice little pockets of light, and we might as well be out with a camera than lying in our bed. Although, in Spain, lying in your bed till 11 o'clock in the morning does seem to be the done thing, as does drinking wine pretty much as soon as you get up. Right, well, this is looking all rather subtle, but we might be able to make something work, so let's give it a whirl. So there's a subtle, just beautiful quality to the light right now. The sun, you're probably not going to be able to make that out, but the sun, as I said, rose about 10 minutes ago, but it has just appeared over the visible horizon. There's a band of mist right along the horizon, and it's just casting a really, really lovely, subtle light. You can probably just see a little bit of that on my face. The downside is it's a very busy little area. Now, I came down here last night, my idea being that we were going to get some mist in this woodland, and it certainly does look like it has that potential, and that's where we'll head to. But it's a very, very busy part. You know, I was thinking a nice subtle long exposure, isolate a couple of rocks, but as you can see behind me here, isolating a couple of rocks is reasonably difficult. It's also quite an active area. This area here is protected. A lot of the areas around the western coast of Galicia are protected from the big Atlantic storms, and that's where they have a lot of mussel farms, which, by the way, Nicole had last night and said were very nice. So there's loads and loads and loads of mussel farms out there, so you don't even get kind of a lovely sort of just the frame disappearing off into nothingness. There's always going to be those mussel farms. That sun has just risen up. I might just go ahead and do a little bit of a cliche shot with that lovely big ball of fire in the sky, or I might just sit and enjoy it. Fingers crossed. I can definitely see the mist starting to develop, and we'll head into the woods because I think that's where we have a little bit more potential. But I'll carry on bimbling around as I always do and see whether we can find something to make use of this lovely subtle light. I'm not going to lie, struggling quite a lot. So really nothing going on up on top of the rocks. So looked into the woods again and thought, you know what, that mist is coming down. Let's get up in. And I say a wood, it's literally a little sort of patch of woods, but it's a very messy patch of woods with sort of fenced off areas and other bits and pieces. So it really needs a lot of sort of thicker mist or fog. I mean, that's not what we were getting in there. So then I came back out again, and just behind me here, I'd walked by this sort of green bush when I first came down, and at the time there was a lovely sort of glow. I mentioned earlier that lovely subtle quality of the light, and it was really casting a lovely contrast of colours, greens and oranges and reds. So I thought, you know what, let's try to make the use of that. So I've got the camera set up and started to work a little bit on the composition. I thought, hang on a minute, that light seems to have been sort of snuffed out, and yep, the sun is now rising up through the higher band of mist and fog and murk, and we've lost that lovely subtle quality of light. So quite a frustrating morning so far. In fact, what I should have been doing is just go out for a run like this lady here. That probably would have been more worth my while. So, I wonder, will we get any nice light back again? I guess with the light now disappearing for the foreseeable, it allows me to slow back down again. We've all been there. The quality of the light is beautiful, but you're really struggling with the composition, and you start to get a little bit frantic. So at least now, while I am disappointed that I didn't make the use of the light this morning, I can at least calm myself down, have a drink of water, and see whether I can find a composition. So apologies for the background noise of the tractor doing its thing. And in fact, speaking of the tractor, I'm going to have to fire off this shutter. 2 seconds. That's the exposure going. It's a 25-second exposure. I've got the 10 stop on and a little bit of polarization as well. And I'm actually making use of that fog on the far distant shore. The light, as you can probably see on my face, and in fact, the light that is now on those trees is actually back to being sort of quite subtle, not as orange and as amber as before. A lot more sort of yellow tones to it. What I've done is I've flipped the camera over into black and white film simulation mode, and I'm doing a horizontal image here with there's just a little rock on the bottom left hand side of the frame, a couple of little fishing boats, and then the far side of the frame, the background of the frame, thrown a little bit out of sort of focus just with that mist rolling around. But it's kind of best of a bad bunch, I think, really. But it's beautiful. It's a lovely area. And that's always the way, you know, you come to a lovely area and you struggle to find an image and you sort of question, well, why is that? And I guess it's our eye a little bit. But sometimes areas maybe are beautiful to look at, but just a little bit more challenging to shoot. Anyway, I'll probably take another couple of these frames. I need to wait, in fact. Oh, I think the tractor man has gone. He's obviously doing a little bit of beach cleaning. I had to wait till he was out of my frame as well, but it looks like he has gone. So I think I'll carry on shooting that image. Now, even though that light is quite nice, I am still thinking black and white, and the benefit of now having that sun up above that murk, it's going to give us a lot more tonality in the frame to work with when it comes to post-processing. Right, I'll throw this image up, and we'll wander on. So I always find it interesting when a nice scene, doesn't translate into a workable or a nice image. And that's what we have going on here, at least what I think is a nice scene, and what I don't think maybe works as an image. Still using the rock, the little boats and the background, but now I've switched back out of black and white and I'm taking advantage of that lovely subtle sort of yellow tones mixed with that early morning mist. I've also put the camera into a 16:9 aspect ratio just to help me work the composition a little bit better. Still got the 10 stop on, now getting about a 15 or so second exposure, F something or other. And behind me here, just using the sort of, there's a nice sort of curve of the coastline, and it all just looks really nice, even when the bin lorry's there. Maybe not with the bin lorry there, but I just don't think it works as an image. Maybe because it's a little bit too busy, maybe the longer exposure that's moving the boats, maybe the beach maybe isn't as clean as it could be from footprints and things. Don't know, but I just don't think it works. But I guess this is one of the challenges. You come to a place like this here, and it's beautiful. Yes, we didn't get the lovely mist in the little bit of woodland, which is disappointing. But it's such beautiful light, and it looks like a lovely scene. But just making it work as an image is not very easy. Now, I could walk around this bay. In fact, I might do. We're on a little bit of a time crunch this morning because we need to leave the little place that we're parked up at by about mid-morning, and it's coming up at 9 o'clock now. But I might wander across the bay because the mist over there does look to be hanging around. I haven't checked that area out over there, so I've got no idea what's over there. But it might work. But I'll throw this image up. As I say, I don't think it works as an image, but my thought process is the right hand side of the frame, really trying not to obviously clip those highlights, but really pushing it right to the very edge, and then I would probably accentuate that a little bit more in post as well, almost sort of right the way to pure white, just to give that lovely feeling of sort of an ethereal quality, sort of high key, but don't think it really works as an image. Anyway, I'll throw it up and we'll wander on. So I decided against walking across. As I was starting to make my way across those trees, the mist really started to kind of dissipate a lot more. So I've actually come back to this bank. Now the bank is obviously eroding away. I'm a few steps to the right from the original image that I saw whenever I came down here, and I just shot it, a very brief sketch handheld. But I really love how the bank has been eroded away, and the roots of the upper tree, the upper pine tree, are coming through. And then of course you have the lovely green, really vibrant green ivy twisting around as well, and some other little sort of twigs and things, and I really just loved it. So I've been trying to sort of work on a composition here in a portrait orientation. Now I'm out at about 55mm. I don't think I would have too much of a depth of field issue, but again, I'm giving myself maximum leverage by doing a focus stack, and of course putting my hand in front of the camera like that, so whenever I get back to post I can see which images I need to focus stack. Now, bottom of the frame is quite bright, and so what I might end up doing is I like the right hand side of the bottom of the frame, if that makes sense, because you have got sort of a natural sort of line or the sort of trunk, the roots coming up through the frame, but there's quite a bit of sort of bright patch of nothingness on the bottom left hand of the frame. So I think what I'm going to try to do is rework the composition just a touch to see whether or not I can better improve that. So I ended up moving my composition about 6 inches to the right. I was struggling to find in that last image I was struggling to find a better composition that removed the bottom left hand gap but also kept the nice flow in the rest of the image. But then I kind of looked a little bit to the right, and I noticed that there was another similar image, but this time the root was actually nicely curving down through the bottom hand side of the frame. And again, just having a little bit of that sort of splash of green, the lovely sort of thinner roots, and then leading up to the main root. Couple of challenges. The light here, as I moved, I actually started to cast a little bit of a shadow, so I needed to make sure that between each image, again, I was focus stacking just to give myself maximum leverage, F something or other. I was having to duck myself down again, but I think that image actually works just a little bit better, just because you don't have as much of that negative sort of empty space in the bottom left hand corner. But yeah, I'll throw this image up. Now this was going to be the last image off the shoot, and it still might be the last image off the shoot, at least the last image in this vlog. But the fog, the fog has actually come in a little bit now. And there is actually a nice little hint of mist up there in the woods. I still don't think it's going to be enough to give us anything sort of enough to be able to shoot up there, but I might just take a little crafty look up and see whether there's one final image. As I say, probably won't show it in the vlog, but we'll see. You never know your luck. But I'll throw this image up, and as always, we'll wander on. Alright guys, so there's not going to be another image. As you can see, I came back up into the little scrub of woodland, and no, that mist just isn't penetrating it. And as you can see, it's not much cop, and kind of without the mist, can't really make another image here. And in fact, that sun now is starting to even burn off the mist that was down there and become a little bit harsher. So I think what I'm going to do is just wander back to the van and grab myself a coffee, grab myself a shower as well, a hot shower. Hot showers have been few and far between. The water heater blew up in our van about 3 days in, so it's been cold showers out the back, or beach showers and things like that. So the luxury of a hot shower coming up. But this has been lovely. A really nice little area to come down. As I say, difficult to make those wider scenes. I'm interested to know your own thoughts and comments below. But really pleased that I went back to my little scrubby bit in below the trunk and around the roots, because I quite like images like that. But right, well, once again, thanks a lot for following along this little bimble along Spain. As I say, we are somewhere, I'll again put it up on the screen, somewhere on the western side of Spain in Galicia. Today we're heading further north, and I'm doing a bit more exploring, but I guess you'll catch up with another travel vlog on Sunday, and I guess the next time we'll be on a Photo Friday. Well, who knows where I'll be. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, take care. Bye bye.